I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. And my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral disorder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass, asexual, polyhedral treasure that's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, I'm proud to be. In whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure that's so shiny. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and my partners love me for it. I'm a natural 20 when it comes to being me. I'm a time traveler, so Alonzi. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice hoarder, and proud.
I see everyone but you, so we're just gonna go with that, I think.
Fair enough. All right.
I'm likely not going to be talking much, so that's okay.
That's cool.
It can hear you, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
You can hear us, and that's
here
what's
if anyone
important.
has
Environmental concerns.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll do some holy work or something.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
So,
Yes, I believe
we are in a weird little cave we found.
Yeah, we ran off. We ran off to outrun the whatever
right.
group of things were coming at the tower.
Yeah,
And
you
made
got
some
something's
skill
attention
challenges.
at the tower,
Yeah.
and were able to successfully evade them and escape the sort of strange flesh-covered ground area of the forest back into the wooded area, and found a sort of a small hollow under a fallen tree that seemed to be very well hidden, and it looked actually like a small, almost like a cache of some kind. Hadn't been used in a significant amount of time, but it was like a little elven hidey hole at it. And you hold up there, put up Maria's wonderful wisteria wigwam, camouflaged it to look like the ground around it, and kind of sealed off the entrance. And it had gone. The forest had largely gone quiet, and as far as Velas could tell with his preternatural aberration senses, that they seemed to have lost your trail, but were sort of fanning out and searching the forest. But there didn't seem to be anything coming in that direction. So it did seem that you managed to evade everything with little, I wouldn't say with little difficulty, but you skillfully evaded those monsters. And
I mean,
during the rest of
Velas
the
almost drowned, but
that
Well,
happened.
there was a little bit of that.
Like
Yeah,
you do.
I need to make
swim
a
through
tally
slime-
of how many times Velas has almost died.
It's kind of like a cat in that way. Slime-infested waters are difficult to swim through, turns out.
little bit.
Yeah, but the afternoon and evening pass. The rest of the afternoon and the evening pass uneventfully. Occasionally, Velas checks in, and while the area around you is definitively free of any aberrant taint, there's definitely a number of sort of blips on your primeval awareness that you pick up that are
No, Haku, don't lick my cup.
but other than that, it seems to be quiet. In fact, it sounds like a light rain has picked up outside. So it's gotten a lot darker, a lot faster than you would have expected. So you would imagine that might be the rain clouds that had blown in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a sort of light pitter patter of rain, and then with, on occasion, just the sound of some far thunder.
Yeah. As I got settled in, probably, like the moment we made sure that nothing was coming after us or anything like that, Cortana stays towards the entrance to this particular hidey hole just to keep an eye out, but also just kind of catches her breath and then reaches into her pouch, pulls out the cleansing stone, sets it on the ground, and just slaps her hand down on it. And
It's a good thing that thing doesn't have charges.
yeah.
Cleansing stones don't need charges.
And then looks over to Velas.
Magic items based on a cantrip. How wonderful.
Velas is like sitting down
Pass it around.
against the cave wall. It just holds up a hand because he's too tired to get up.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. She'll just kind of eventually pick it up and wander it over to the rest of the group and sit down and set it in the center and just plop down.
I don't think I need it. For a good chunk of that.
I will use that.
I think it's just Bellis and Cortana this last time that went in.
Yeah. The only ones that were actually in the water.
Because Leah bamped across to avoid it.
Right.
She went in last time, didn't like it.
I shall
Thank
be
you
most happy
for
when
that.
I shall be most happy when
Busying
we end.
himself. Good.
Well, that was interesting.
Interesting is certainly a word. Is everyone all right? Otherwise,
Let's never do that again.
I think we'll be fine.
Unfortunately, on this journey, I'm not sure we can avoid doing that again.
doth not know is something that can be promised.
I'd love to avoid it. That was less than ideal.
Well, if we alert one, the rest will be on us.
Apparently.
Yes, well, the challenge is being that quiet to not alert even one.
That can't be a problem for us, I suppose.
Say we don't think about that for the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's a problem for future.
That's
Fair enough.
I'll be right back, sorry.
Just kind of stare out the exit for a little bit and just think to herself and then kind of give a side glance backwards. Seeming pondering whether to say anything, but eventually just giving up. Aiden, are you going to speak to us?
About what? I'm checking details on the maps that I was making and the one I copied.
Doth not know
Not really looking up.
anything at this point, what that was about when we were speaking with the elves. And then you wandered away.
I did get real interested all of a sudden.
I mean,
Not that it's really any.
I'm just kind of sit back and take the hilt out from the sheath that carried it. Like, you don't really think this is just a hilt, is it?
No, I'm pretty sure at this point we've seen it.
That's
That's-
certainly unusual,
Yeah.
to say the least.
We have certainly seen it become more.
Well, that's a stand-in. I'm just gonna run my finger along the broken edge of the blade. Rest of it is somewhere. And apparently, Leah's mother had something that resembles it. So.
Sorry, what?
So you think she had the rest?
Huh?
It certainly matched the description.
Are you talking about my mom?
Yes, we are talking about Leah's mom.
I had to run to the bathroom and I came back and I was like, wait, I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's
We
kinda
just-
why
we
I was
just mentioned
stalling.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
So is that why? Whoop, no. Is that why you got so intense about that?
Was that intense?
You were a little.
Let me backtrack though, because I'm like, I
also-
feel like I
Far more so
don't
than
know
normal.
what you're talking about. So what I missed, like, reading what Aiden
He
was saying.
mentioned that your mom had something that sounds a lot like his sword.
He was
Curious as to
explaining
why
that
you got
pieces of
so
it are
intense
missing.
then.
Wait, pieces are missing?
Well, it's just kind of, it's like I just take out the hilt with the broken blade on it and just kind of has that, like, you don't think this is just a hilt, is it? What you've seen of it is just a stand-in everything.
You're cutting in and out.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just my end, but I don't know. I caught every other word.
I mean, let me see. I can lower this.
You're not so much cutting out for me, but you are a little like
You're
fuzzy.
quiet a little bit at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's gotten a little bit better. You move the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. My connection sometimes likes to mess around. Surely I like went on something for some reason. But anyway.
No, Haku.
So what about, you said you don't think this is just a blade or something like that? I didn't.
It's a hilt with, you can see part of the blade is there, but the rest of it is missing. It's broken. And what you see of it, or at least, what forms when he uses it during battle, is just a stand-in.
Oh. So you think my mother had the rest of that sword or something?
Or something that matches the description.
I mean, honestly, I have no idea. I'm not sure how she would come across it, but
No, that is interesting. Well, maybe not so much.
She didn't have anything like it before she left?
When she left.
honestly, I was very young when she went missing. It's possible. Without my father would know, I'm sure, but
Well, it doesn't help.
Oh, I could ask.
Yeah, he's not
can't
here,
ask him
and-
tonight, but I could ask him tomorrow.
Yes.
I was young enough to know, she was skilled with a sword, but she was not a fighter in the way that my father is. She was the gentler side, but by no means meek. So
What did your mother do in your tribe?
she was our shepherd. She trying to find the best. How would you describe what she did? My father's the champion and is in charge of our training, our combat and whatnot. And you could say in every sense of the word, my mother was his counterpart. She was the shepherd to the rest of us, I guess. Not the caretaker, obviously, but she guide us and do whatever necessary to protect her flock, so to speak, I guess. So She was gentle, but in the face of danger would do whatever it took to protect home.
So gentle but strong.
Yes. She led with a quiet strength, I remember that much. And then one day like I said, I was young, so I really don't know these circumstances, but one day she just essentially disappeared. Nobody really knows what. It's not like she was sent off on a mission, not that we really do that much. There's reasons why I'm the Pathfinder. I'm kind of the first. Or I thought I was. Apparently my mother really was the first.
Well, sometimes people just leave.
But
Where's that?
Just kind of looks at Aiden at that.
Wow,
a little bit
Aiden.
curiously.
That's all loaded. Insight check!
Yeah.
I don't think you need to make a roll for that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Not with Elias's insight.
Spoilers, that was loaded.
Yeah, right.
she would never leave her flock without good reason to. So that's, I guess, part of why it's so strange the way she just was gone one day.
She didn't even say goodbye to you or your father?
I mean, honestly, I don't know if she knew the nature of what she had set out to do. I don't know if she had a chance to. The circumstances under which she left are known to her and the Wild Mother, and that's about it.
A pilgrimage?
Possibly. From what little I've gathered in talking to elves that we've run into here, and it sounds like she either sensed something was wrong, or the Wild Mother showed her something was wrong, and she set out to do whatever she could, I guess, to help protect her home. I don't know why she, was not able to tell us where she was going, what she was doing. And as a result, I don't know, I guess we've assumed that she was taken or lost to the aberrations somehow, but now I don't know, it sounds like there's that sliver of possibility that maybe, I don't know.
Well, if nothing else, she apparently made it this far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, which
This is quite a
farther than I
pilgrimage.
think anyone would have expected. So,
Yeah.
That
Well, I mean,
is-
if she's half as tough as you and your father,
like I said, she led us with quiet strength. She only showed it when necessary, but I don't know, it's like she would store it up in reserve so that when the time came, she would be incredibly strong and brave.
Sometimes I think that might be the most important kind.
Anyways, if there's any answers, whether or not she is there, I don't know, but I feel like any answers I can glean on. Good and provide some sense of closure for my father, even. He doesn't really talk about it much, but I know he misses her.
Well, it seems like both you and Aiden are looking for different reasons then.
Yes.
So
Certainly,
I wouldn't say that.
Aiden, doth you think this blade may call the other or show you to a piece of what you're looking for? Or
I don't know.
doth you think it's the same one?
We'll see. All I know is it matches something I'm supposed to be looking for.
What is it?
I must say I am curious.
I mean, it's
What?
not just some blade, and I've known you a while. You couldn't do these things then. Didn't want to press because your business is yours, but I think it's kind of turning into ours now.
I mean, I'd say Cortanus knows most of it. Or at least I've mentioned it. But it's something I've found, or my brother and I found among other people. But I wasn't really sure what it was until
Found it?
it's my line of work. I go poking around in old, abandoned places and find things of value.
You're interested in that tower.
What? I didn't really catch that.
Sorry, so to quit your interest in that tower, just thinking of how you were like, look for things, find it.
Well, there's different reasons for that. But anyway, it turns out somebody that hired us to go on this particular little expedition was basically like the brothers that we ran into, and so
Yeah, cocks his eyebrow like, brother?
Well, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, they
Another long story, I suppose. Yeah.
yeah, so basically a little bit of a ritual. Creepy things started coming out. I don't know, Sarah caught on to it, I guess, and was able to adjust things so they didn't go completely apocalyptic. But they grabbed him, and I was left with a sword.
Oh, never mind,
You wanna
dog.
hunt these brothers down so bad.
What was that?
That's why you want to hunt these brothers down so bad.
Partially. I mean, answers are answers wherever I can find them, but it's something about this sword. It was made by those things, but it's designed to kill those things as well.
It's an unusual sword, then.
Well, infighting. Yes.
Something like that. I get flashes every now and then, but
That's awesome.
apparently I don't get more answers until it's whole again, so,
Katana twinges a little bit when he says flashes and just kind of thinks to herself and glances down.
Well,
Hath thou gotten many flashes in this forest?
In the forest, not so much. It was more down in the mines, I think, was the largest part of it. But anyway,
to know only one
find the blade, find answers, I find answers. Find my brother, Benny Luck.
Oh, no. Sorry.
It seems as we get closer to the center, we find more aberrants.
Yeah.
They do seem a little popular around here, don't they?
I would say this is fate.
I don't know. Maybe it started that way.
All things do. This force certainly has many questions and perhaps many answers, I hope. I hope
it got answers.
I have had
Me too.
2 memories in this forest where I had never had any before, and I am unsure why.
What
Really?
what triggered
What
the
did
memories?
you-
I mean, are we getting closer to home or what?
Or might be.
Home. I know it's not. She took a second to think about like home after being at a place called home, and then realized what he was talking about and just shook her head.
Your home.
I doth not know. I have remembered general ideas from my past, but nothing concrete. No names. No. Everyone has been a silhouette until recently, and there was that music, the song. I remember hearing it before, but
You've
Finn kind of
heard
stiffens
it?
up when she brings up the song again.
Yeah, let's go.
I did not remember
I
anything
remember that
specific,
song.
but that I heard it sung once, but I know not by who, some elven woman, but then back at the tower, she's gonna like very slowly kind of reach into her pack and pull out her journal and start flipping pages. I doth not understand, but I may have. I saw someone familiar for the first time in a very long time.
At the tower?
We should have remembered.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I guess remembered. Yeah, we didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, we did
No.
see the people in the mirror, but we didn't
No.
really see.
Sorry, yes, a memory of a
That-
face.
That's fair. It was just one of those moments of you
Who
saw a
did you-
person.
As I said,
Uh,
all my memories hath been silhouettes of faces, but this one was clear, and it was young, perhaps a bit younger than I recall at the end, but I believe I may have seen my brother's face for the first time in a very long time.
Oh.
I mean, that's good.
I did not think I would see it again. Or remember
Well,
seeing
that's-
it.
That's exciting.
Happy for you.
Find more.
I'm trying to remember how much Leah has.
Yeah, I don't. I
No,
don't
she
know.
doesn't. Yeah, they were
Leah,
going
I
to
don't
talk
think-
about it later, and then a lot of things happened.
Yeah.
We've not had a chance to actually discuss
Yeah, no.
Cortanus'
We have
situation.
not.
Okay. Because I was like, how do I react? Because it's like, I know, but I was like, wait, I don't remember. And I was,
But
Yeah.
you could just straight up ask, why don't you remember anything?
Yeah.
in
That is an
case,
option.
Leah's just going to look at her and say, I'm sorry, I feel as though I'm missing something. That tower is deserted long ago, and you, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I have not run into many humans, but you don't strike me as being that old, so
No, we don't live very long.
I did not think so. So how could your brother?
Oh yeah, we've not actually had a chance to complain.
No.
Things
This-
have been a little hectic, haven't they?
He just kind of gestures between himself and this.
Mm. Yes. I suppose the short answer is I'm a small piece of a magical artifact from what you might call the Age of Arcanum.
So you are a piece of it, not you have a piece. You are.
she is.
I mean, that is
It's a long
trying to
story.
wrap my brain around it. Leah's like, what processing?
It's a very long story, and I only,
Very long story.
well, I know enough of it, but
Even
my
I-
memories
I
are,
don't-
what would be the term now? Fuzzy?
fuzzy. Yeah, that's good. Vague, fuzzy.
Yes. I
I
remember circumstances, but not names or faces. Not my own, not anyone I was with.
I accidentally summoned Cortanus using this artifact that is part of. She's been here ever since.
That is
Trying to.
I mean, I
did say I was older than I looked.
She is.
wow.
Add some typing.
Yeah, there is some background noise.
I was
Sorry. Yeah, something about this forest or the people here hath given me some clear bits of remembrance that I hath never had.
Do you think you were from around here, or?
I could not tell thee at this point. The last
Still
memory was
just
simply a moment of recollection of something similar that struck a chord, I suppose. Nothing about the tower itself, just that ghost did something, I believe, and then it reminded me.
So just a thing that was similar enough.
Similar to.
Yes.
And the ghost was from quite some time ago, so maybe.
If nothing else, we seem to be picking up more and more reasons to keep going. Not that we really needed more.
Yeah.
No, we were kind of going either way, but
I was.
well, I mean, at this point, I don't think any of us were going to be turning back.
Yeah.
No, we're sort of invested at this point, I think, Elias.
We're not leaving.
Besides, we wouldn't leave you.
Probably not the smart decision, but thank you.
We wouldn't leave you anyway. But now,
When have you known any of us to make smart decisions?
That is a fair point.
I thought so.
Well, it's quite a complex weave of threads here.
Well, and it's interesting. I mean, there's actually people. Met is a strong word. We talked to them.
We talked to them.
They were a little weirded out, but they seemed okay with it.
A little more interesting than I generally in my life, but yeah.
And there's one less crazy, weird mind flayer in the world, so that's good.
Yes. Just shaking her head.
What was that thing?
About that.
Oh.
What did Bella say, Kristen? I couldn't.
I said, what was that thing?
A mind flayer that didn't die when we thought it was dead.
Mind flayer that had been alone for far too.
I just want to know what turned it that way. I'd like to know if I'm likely to run into more.
If any of you all got a D20 hand, check.
Yeah.
So I was going to say with that shadow thing of.
That's actually really good.
I could give you a religion or Arcana, I guess.
Okay.
No, I know
19.
nothing. I know nothing. I rolled and rolled 20, and I know nothing.
Okay, that's religion would be a 16.
Maybe religion for this? Nope. 9.
I got a 19 with either one of them.
I have training in either of those things.
Training.
I don't have training, but
yeah, like if you don't have training, then you're not making an Arcana check. It's just an intelligence.
Yeah.
But specifically saying Arcana or religion.
Not that high, so I'm
it's the same thing.
Okay.
19.
Aiden's killing it.
Yeah.
No, that was a disadvantage.
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I guess I should technically get advantage.
Oh yeah, I would too. That makes it
Okay,
foam
that was
instead.
16. I rolled higher the second time.
Well, there you go.
I forgot about that exhaustion.
Yeah.
So as best as anyone could guess, now that you're kind of throwing out a couple of ideas to one another, it's very likely that a long-lived creature like that existing near a section of the material plane that is that has a very, very, very thin border between it and the Shadowfell could very well have some weird Shadowfell thing going on. Anytime the planes, the border between the planes thins, weird stuff starts happening to the material plane. Which is why you've got the Ashari people who have their little tribes in those specific areas, precisely because of that.
Yeah.
But there are no Ashari who look over the Shadowfell. So.
Shadow Ashari need to be a
Oh
thing.
man.
Oh man,
That sounds pretty
amazing.
badass, actually.
That actually would be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently I just came up with a new example.
Yeah.
Shatter Ashari.
Super secretive
Like,
5th Ashari tribe.
This
That
is
would be
fifth
the
element
ones that are in
Ashari.
Underdark.
Is the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty
A
cool.
drow.
Drow Ashari.
I am here for this.
Nice.
All right, let me put that down in my campaign notes so I can read it.
Nice.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so I mean, you pass through an area that was supposedly super influenced by the Feywild, and it was pretty crazy. This place is, well, I mean, other than this incredibly pervasive infestation of aberrant creatures, you also have, all kinds of weirdness going on with the Shadowfell. I mean, those knights kind of emerged from a grave portal thing
That's true.
the other day. But anytime you have extraplanar energy influencing the material plane, weird stuff happens.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In hindsight, I guess Elias would probably at least familiar with that concept of living that close to, because like the Fire Ashari are just a couple days away from days travel from Vasselheim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're. Well, I mean,
The general concept of get weird when there's the planes interact.
Well, and we had Felice.
We had-
so I
Yeah,
think,
that's true.
Yeah, we also
we I think people would have a general sense of it gets weird when planes interact.
It's weird.
But
Gets
more beyond
weird.
that, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
It gets real weird when there are planes and they interact with each other. So,
Well, hopefully there won't be more of them then.
Yeah.
it was good
Yeah,
that you
I'd
came
rather.
back down, Velis.
Yeah.
Leah was convincing.
Good.
And I realized I was being kind of an ass. So
Kind of, yes. Just a little bit.
I understand that you all had your reasons for wanting to go down there. And
Well,
my
I mean,
reasons for wanting to avoid it.
Not nothing.
I should have stayed.
I mean, I think or you can't really run from your friends forever. Unfortunately.
Taz cringes
you've been trying to.
No.
Has anyone ever told you that you're a terrible liar?
Yeah, I feel like
Many times.
that was such a bad lie that even William doesn't believe
Yeah.
Should I roll deception?
I
Not
mean,
gonna go well.
What is my insight? I don't remember.
What exactly was the lie?
Yeah.
That he's not running from something.
Yeah, we already asked him if he's running. No.
Okay.
No.
No. Why
Now
would you
I'm
think
just
that?
What? Me?
Oh,
Nah.
Oh, actually, I rolled pretty
Well,
high.
I rolled a crap 20 plus 7, so 11.
Well, I just rolled a 15 deception check.
Okay.
Are you both at disadvantage though?
Oh yeah, it would be. Let's
You're
see.
both at disadvantage.
I feel like, as I said,
Okay,
I
that's
feel like
actually a
even
10.
Weria doesn't believe
Oh, it's a 10?
that.
That's
So
actually a 10. I forgot about the
she's going
disadvantage.
she's gonna roll
Why?
insight on you because even she doesn't believe that. No,
That's fair.
Bellis just straight up doesn't believe it.
That's fair.
she's bad at it.
I do have insight, but
They're all running from
We
something.
have insight
Yeah,
being
we are.
my
That's
water
true.
gun, apparently.
17.
Really
Not
running
everyone. That's true. Not everyone.
thing per se.
There's Leah.
Here, Haku, no, no, that's a shoe.
Oh no.
He normally doesn't go for shoes. I'm
Yeah.
actually kind of surprised.
Well, yeah, I'd say if anyone rolled higher than a 10,
Oh, I rolled.
Definite.
I rolled 12. So.
he's lying.
Oh,
Which is just makes it all the funnier that like we're rolling like 11s and 12s, and it's enough to tell us that you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just a really bad
Yeah,
lie.
Cortana's is glancing
Bad
down, then slowly
liar.
like tilts her head, but tries
lied
not to
so-
be noticeable about it because it's she can't go
You
asking
lied
about that.
so poorly that even Weria doesn't believe you.
Currently just like, not looking at any of you.
Weria like looks at you for a minute,
Yes.
opens her mouth, closes her mouth, then opens again and says, "You know, I won't make you talk about it, but if you want to at some point, because you're clearly running from something."
I really don't want to.
As I said, I won't make you.
don't worry
Unless
about it.
it becomes-
Things are fucked up in one way or another.
For yourself.
I know for a fact you are fucked up.
Yeah, but I'm not PTSD fucked up.
Well,
I
I've
mean,
seen there are many types of fucked up.
There are.
I don't know if
It
PTSD
won't.
fucked up is the only.
I feel like the many types of fucked up needs to be a white
What is
card.
a PTSD?
long
It-
story, good dog.
It won't won't be an issue.
Okay.
You say that, but
I left my brand of fucked up to continent.
that must be convenient.
Funny. I thought I did too.
Don't say that.
Eliza's
jinx
just
me like that.
pleased with that statement.
An old quote kind of comes to mind, fellas, that it's hard to escape the Underdark because it really is everywhere.
That's true.
But really, I mean, I won't pry, but if you ever do want to talk.
I-
As I s-
Really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, Katana's is about to say something that just immediately shuts her mouth the moment he says that.
It's alright.
It's in the past.
You're allowed to have your secrets. We're
Still
still
they try and kill us.
here.
They might. I'm taking.
Yeah, there's just like a moment's pause.
Wait, I was about to be like, no, they won't try and wait. No. No, they don't.
Paku, stop it.
Keep an eye out then.
Yeah, I know. Why is it like internally like, will they try and kill us? No, my secrets are good.
Perhaps that is why I am here.
At any rate, I don't think we're any of us are really qualified to judge. So,
Won't stop me.
no.
I appreciate
But-
your honesty.
Weirya just wants everyone to be okay. Like,
No,
Good luck.
There's so many levels of not okay in this party right
not
now.
okay.
No one is ever truly okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Except
that's what
Weirya.
Weirya wants. She just wants everyone to be okay.
Just Weirya.
Yeah. On that note, drink. It's a healthy coping mechanism, right?
I mean,
Sadly, I think I ran out of
It's really
alcohol 8 or 9, fuck-ups ago.
So yesterday.
So yes, yeah. This mo-
There's like a moment's pause,
Okay,
like a
I'll
slight
go
chuckle.
with
She
it.
like covers her mouth. with
I don't have any booze for you, Elias. I'm sorry.
That's unfortunate.
I'm actually looking at my inventory.
I have a sleeping potion.
Do not take the sleeping potion.
That is a bad idea.
You'll be
That's-
I can tell you that's a bad
I'm just
idea.
picturing whoever it was that said that just being like, here, I've got booze, not telling him it's a sleeping potion.
The problem with the sleeping
do not
Extra
potion
roofie, do not roofie my lord. Thank you.
it lasts like a whole day. Like,
Yeah, you'd be
not
out for the
want him to
entire
take
day.
a sleeping potion.
Please do not roofie my lord.
He'd be roofing himself.
Please do not enable my lord to roofie himself.
Is that left over from the frickin' dwarf or what?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
We had
know if it's
one
so
dose
good or
left.
anything, but it's still in my inventory. One dose
We're
of
gonna find a
sleeping
use for
potion.
that.
Well, if we have anyone
I
who can go to
wouldn't
sleep.
be surprised if we do.
Yeah,
I mean-
actually, can I take it out and like it's it or anything? I've had bags since Port de Mali.
Just doesn't smell bad.
Does this even have any potency?
So, yeah,
Because it was some kind of herbal thing. So
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Did the job.
yeah. It was like an herbal thing. So, like it's just
you got it from the stoner hippie.
It's
Yeah.
just tea at this
The
point.
one you find
I
in
mean-
every city.
I mean, sort of all of our potions have come from stoner hippies. So.
Not wrong.
Theme.
organic.
Or Matt
it's
McConaughey.
probably-
Oh wait, no, that's wrong. No, it was like the Minnesotan. Wait, Pumat's accent was a
No,
little more
we had-
Minnesotan, right?
Yeah,
I was
Yeah.
thinking of the sun tree for some reason.
You were thinking of the sun tree.
So
No,
that's a
that
stoner
was-
hippie from Port de Mali.
yeah.
Yeah. Palm Tubrick.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I doth
The
not wish to
half-elf.
enable, but perhaps the
Half-elf
elves we are meeting up
McConaughey.
with would have something.
Shadowfell liquor, that's new.
It certainly
Also-
aged well.
Probably
Yeah.
not recommended.
Ah, that's some
I think it's
vintage.
alcohol. We're trying.
I mean, the elves of Guard.
You said something and then you cut out.
Yeah, I heard the elves of Guar.
Guar! Maybe the elves of Guar. No, the elves of Guarden are sort of only like Shatterkai by heritage, and they're you might even think of them as not like true shadow elves because they don't live in the Shadowfell and have to, and so they're less like the descriptions of them of the tormented, haunted. We cut ourselves to feel, to see if we could still bleed, or what is it? I hurt myself today to see if I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Johnny Cash.
Yeah, because they live in the primary material plane. They just have this weird. It's just a sort of a weird thing that I came up with. But very likely, because of that, it's probably not particularly healthy for people from the prime material plane to imbibe basis, but they probably have some whacked out shit.
So, long story short, do not acquire Shadowfell liquor.
I'm hearing this as
Shadowfell
acquire
smoke, on the
Shadowfell liquor.
Yeah, what I'm
I'm
hearing is
definitely hearing that.
absolutely acquire Shadowfell liquor.
Yeah, because I mean that's the thing. It's like they don't do anything in half measures.
No.
Where he is judging all of you.
Cortanus is like, my job is getting harder. I know my job is about to get harder.
I mean, look, my life's short enough as it is. I'm human. I got like 100 years tops. I may as well. Something's gotta kill me.
Making your life shorter because it's already short doesn't seem productive.
Utah's just listening to that and like slowly looks down at her book, and she's flipped to the sketch page and is just staring at it and listening to this.
Irritating is still just like busying himself with the map.
We all die eventually.
I think Velis is actually just kind of mindlessly sharpening his dagger on the whetstone Cortanus had given him while they're talking.
Real positive conversation.
Yep.
Well,
We're just a bundle of positivity and joy and
I mean, at least one of us is.
thinking. Yeah, that's fair.
someone has to be.
We doth appreciate you, Iria.
If everyone is upset all the time, we're never going to get anything done.
I'm not upset all the time. I'm just cavalier about death.
You say upset, I say motivated.
You know, Raven Queen. I feel like that's just not the greatest anything.
What?
Not a good influence.
Tis still better than what was there before. I can assure thee of that. You shake her head, looks away from the book, slowly closes it.
What was where before?
What was what before?
The previous god of death was apparently white.
Yes.
The piece of,
Oh,
and then she,
Oh.
usurped him. Basically.
okay. So she is better than the previous god of
Yes.
Yes.
death. Okay.
No one would be caught worshipping Nerul openly, where I was from.
Cortanus, the way you said that was very confusing.
Oh, my apologies. I did not.
It's all right.
It's like embarrassed and looks down again.
It just took me a minute to understand. It's
Distracted as
Like
always.
it makes a huge difference. Still a freaking god of death.
fine. Well,
Yep.
Trust me, it doth make a difference.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it could be a proactive god of death.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what it seems like it
Nerul
was
was
more
a god of murderers.
Yeah.
murder is less than ideal.
Yeah. Raven Queen is more, it's just the moment of death. Doesn't interfere. Doesn't just make sure everything copacetic.
Yeah, but you seem to do a lot to keep that moment from coming.
Well,
Much appreciated, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer not being dead, so
Not dead is anything.
yeah.
You've saved my ass a few times.
At least for certain
Well,
people.
not dead means living and not undead.
Yeah.
I prefer never being dead. Let's phrase
Well,
it that way.
Everything dies.
Well,
Cortana's like glances
Eventually.
over and thinks
Fair.
of that.
Alliance. I meant like not being dead and not being undead. Therefore, I have
Yes.
not died.
Anyway, let's stop talking about how we're dying.
Pretty sure you're the one who started that conversation, funny enough.
There's nothing down there, buddy.
So, on a less morbid note,
Well,
Don't have to try very hard.
Do we have any kind of a plan for what the f we're gonna do when we meet these people?
What, we meet these people? Oh, God, no, who cares?
I mean, we're going to their tower, right? They know we're coming, so they won't be surprised.
More like, couldn't come up with a reason to say no.
Yeah.
We didn't come up with a reason to say no to going to their tower, or they?
Yeah,
I mean, why would we say no?
because we have more important things to do.
They did say they.
I thought the
seen
tower
her
was the
mother.
important things to do.
No, the important things to
yeah.
do is on the other side of the tower.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
so
we have to
why not go to
past
the tower to get to the other side of the tower.
Hence why we couldn't have a good reason to say no.
I feel like you're putting a negative spin on this still.
Good job! You figured it out.
That's
Yes.
good for you.
Leah's just like slightly confused. Just like, why would we not want to go to the tower?
I think
Don't mind
we all
Aiden, he's
need a
just being
drink at this
antisocial.
point.
No, I want to stay on task.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they might have useful
Let me rephrase
information.
that.
Yes.
Don't mind Aiden, he's
If
just being
people have any bit of answers, information more about my mother's whereabouts or anything, and
We already
More than
got
just-
that information.
Yeah.
we spoke to one person.
Yeah, she gave us
Yeah.
pretty good starting point.
And perhaps if we deal with their problem, they may be able to help us further, besides just information. If they are not so focused on dealing with the general area around the tower, perhaps they can be some sort of guide or...
I'm
provide
fine
some
with
sort
a
of-
favor for
Okay,
a
that's it.
favor, but
Yeah.
you know, it's
Come
more
on.
seems like they were interested in what we could do for them.
I
I mean, we did
We're
sort
not
of
there
show up
to
in their
be the
tower.
fish.
I'm like, I don't remember there anything sketched about these people, but
There wasn't really, other than they were there.
yeah,
At least not that I caught. That's not Wiria, that's me.
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I was like, am I not remembering this conversation correctly or something? Like,
No, Aiden's just being Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aiden's just being Aiden.
I understand wherefore you are in a hurry, Aiden, but...
But if there's a chance they have more aid or information they can give us, isn't that better to get and move forward?
Anyway,
If they have
the
it.
city
Yeah.
has
Than,
kept.
if they
for-
don't, we don't stay very long.
The city's kept for hundreds of years. It'll keep for a few extra days if it comes to it.
Can't say I'm in a super to get there, but yeah.
Admit I doth not
I
know
mean-
how much more we can plan in regards to what we do when we get there, if we still doth not know what we are supposed to do, besides...
Yeah. Besides,
But perhaps this
Okay,
extra
sure.
step shall give us more enlightenment?
guess we'll know when we get there.
We'll see what we see, I suppose.
Yeah, we're gonna save the city, right?
I sense
I feel like
sarcasm.
saving it is a little.
I'm not sure saving
of
it
a
is
Once
Right.
again, you have guessed correctly. Congratulations.
When in doubt,
Just sighs.
fantastic.
You are not the most positive person, Hayden.
I'm tired, okay?
Well,
That's fair. I am too.
Perhaps then you should.
It's been a long few days.
I can keep watch.
well, and
Yeah.
we're fairly safe in this little hidey hole as well.
Maybe I'll be. No. I can't even.
That'd be
Hmm.
nice.
I don't know. I always thought this whole fate thing was kind of bullshit, but Kind of feels like I'm moving in the right direction.
It's it's something.
Tis more powerful than you would think until you're part of it.
There's a peal of thunder as it sounds as rain might be picking up a little bit heavier, filling in the void.
Well, at least I'll cover our tracks.
Useful.
Optimism.
That is actually indeed a benefit.
And if anyone gets an extra movie, you can stand in the rain dramatically.
I just kind of pointed at Ellis.
Yeah, you're fully looking at that's this.
One at each of them.
And I've had far too many occasions to not be dry to not wish to stay that way. I can only imagine what is in that rain.
I assume there's less, aberration bits in the rain than there was in the river.
I am skeptical.
Let's not talk about
I like
the
to
river.
imagine that upon hearing rain, Leah sits down with her drum and starts singing the Rafi song "Raining Like Magic."
Where it starts playing along.
Well, that's a thing.
That's
Just because it's on her playlist.
Maria probably doesn't know the song, but she just starts,
She can find
playing
it.
along in harmony.
It's a jam session.
Oh, good.
It's Rafi. It's very easy to sing along to.
What part of keeping a low profile don't you guys understand?
We have a 7-foot-tall furbolg with us.
Well, at least we can't not be seen inside.
And a drow. I think our
Ooh,
odds of
watching the
keeping a
adventures.
low profile are...
Oh, the door fell into shank. Let me go close that. The kids are watching. That's
Hmm.
I mean, have you seen us? We aren't exactly low-profile material.
I mean, some of us can be occasionally, just
That's true.
we're not all good at it. And sometimes,
I hadn't noticed.
Sometimes
Staring at Elias while saying that. Just remembering the time that Elias and Egan tripped into each other down the stairs.
Oh man, that was like,
That was way back.
That was
was
a
quite a long
cragmaw.
time ago.
Right.
that was like
That was
first couple
fucking
sessions.
Yeah.
Cragmaw.
Yeah, that was when Egan was around. Oh man.
Mhm.
Look, that was on Hegan, not me.
I think it was on both of
Hegan
you.
tripped
I'm
first.
pretty sure you were the one in the dirt.
I don't recall.
After a while, I guess just like kind of listening to Leah and Wiria, Cortana has just been kind of like writing in her journal, kind of like thinks for a moment and looks up between them, thinks to herself, looks over to Wiria. Wiria, this may sound odd, but do you know of any good names?
Good names for what?
People. That's been considering.
For people, you said?
Yes.
A particular kind of people?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what makes a good name sort of depends on the person and where they're from and
Yes.
What suits them.
What if they doth not know yet?
That
Well-
in itself
Trying to give yourself a name, Cortanus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's been considering it. I know you were a bit upset with me, where calling this a designation, but
oh,
'tis what I believe is a designation.
It's a title.
Yes,
that's fair.
titles
That's fair.
are
No,
things given, and names are more
Personal.
personal. And I thought perhaps if I'm supposed to be human, a person, perhaps I should not be calling myself after items.
well, I mean, I wasn't upset with you per se. It's just, you know, if you have a name you want to be called, then that's your name. And you know, I want to call you it because I want to call you what you want to be called. But it's up to you what you like to be called, right? So so that's really the question. What do you want people to call you?
I suppose 'twas why I was asking. I doth
Choices.
not remember names from my time, and
If I may offer a bit of input in regards to names, I know my folk do not follow the traditional naming patterns of general society. Sibilith is the one who gave us our elven, more, societal names. But in our home, we have since adopted, yes, these names that help us distinguish each other, but we are also all given our tribe name, or I guess what you would call a title. The one is what I guess you would say is like Cortanus. It is a name that serves as a nameplate. The other one is a direct representation of who we are, such as I am the Pathfinder. And I do not yet know exactly maybe what your role is, but I believe seeking to find what you truly should be called is a noble idea, I guess.
Well, and you know, maybe your name is something like Leah's tribe. Maybe your name is just what you like to be, you choose to be called.
I guess what I mean to say is there is no need to feel like you can only have a single name.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that for sure. Your name can be a lot of things, and it's mostly a matter of what you want, not a matter of, you know, I mean, I suppose, you know, it's named me. Oop, I unplugged myself accidentally. Sorry, plugged my thing. You know, I suppose my parents named me when I was, you know, too young to have any opinion of what I wanted to be called. But I like that name, so it's mine. But you don't have a name from your parents, at least not that you remember, so it's free to you to decide what name you want, or if you want multiple names.
I did not consider it that way, but I am unsure. I suppose that is why I wish to ask. I thought you may have more perspective, but I supposed perhaps I should try something in the interim, in case I ever do remember what I was called before. But perhaps I shall not.
I mean, I could try to give you a name, but I don't know that it would be any different than a designation for you. I think it needs to be a name that feels right for you.
There are lots of names out there.
There are. We've met a lot of
Really,
people with a lot of names.
Anything can be a name if you try hard enough.
God, let's not go down that path.
Lex very confused at that.
Don't give her any ideas, please.
I mean, I like to think that Cortanis isn't going to give herself a really terrible name.
No, but Elias will.
Hey, I will not. I give her a nice name.
Elias is very nice to Cortanis.
If you wish to give me a name, my lord, I would not object.
I'm not saying you'll give her a bad name. I'm saying your judgment on that may not be very good.
You think that Elias won't do a good job of choosing a name?
Aiden is in a mood tonight.
Really?
Okay, this and this.
Yes, that's true.
Spicy boy.
Well, you can now put that. You need to go through. Yeah, I'll put it in the.
I mean, if you have any ideas, I am certainly willing to hear them, my lord. I'm suppose anything.
Don't really.
I have better. I'm more encouraged than some as to your name knowledge, I suppose.
No naming after any dead relatives, because that's weird.
Yeah, basically, the exception of
I'm gonna name her after any dead relative.
Okay. Well, I can do that. These I wasn't sure.
Maybe we can start compiling a list
See
to choose from.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names.
ideas.
From a lot of
Whoever
regions
wants to
and
be
a
the
lot of
genius
languages.
comes up with that.
You want to see the version?
Go right ahead.
I think the first thing you'd have to decide is what kind of name. I mean,
So this is
human name, I assume.
That was
I would assume so, yes.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
What was
Oh, yeah, that looks good.
that?
And there's like the notepad. So
Whatever the really old guy at the
that.
Oh yeah, I eavesdropped on that conversation, but he had a title for you.
Okay.
Wait.
Hard time. Is there like a real life conversation?
But these.
Wait, sorry, I'm trying to hear
I'm
over
having trouble
the.
hearing.
It's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, can you mute yourself while you're talking to your mom?
And then this has like a phone book. And
She can't hear.
She
I
doesn't
don't
hear
think
us.
you hear it.
Fast!
Yes.
And I glued the.
It is not.
Yeah, definitely.
I know what you're talking about. Oh. Glance over that thanks a moment. You
Something about Riley.
mean the elder elf?
Yeah.
Thinking back on that and like eventually kind of looks down and flips back her notes. Lil Tamakar.
Oh, that might be a starting point. It's kind of a mouthful, but
Yeah. Seems an old- easier now.
I mean, you could always shorten it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Though
Or do something.
she looks a little bit like she gets a little like flustered thinking about it. Just strain means sword dancer.
Oh. Well, you are
Describes you pretty well.
very good with
It does.
swords.
Just kind of looks down. She might be slightly blushing at that. Get the compliments.
Very graceful and you're very graceful and
Cortanis, you are
Can't handle
very
compliments.
good at swords. Like, I can sort of use a sword, but I'm not very good at it. You.
yeah.
I think we've already established the gap between you and I.
I've always been more of a hammer or mace person.
I mean, that's why
Put
I
yourself
have
down.
music
You
and
are,
magic.
you are learning quite quickly for what we have been able to go through. Without the distractions, of course. But I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
shall
it was-
consider it.
Just an idea.
It is a start. I appreciate that.
Something to think about.
Flip back to
good.
another
We should
page
have
and
a
stirring a
name.
little bit. Oh, sorry.
Hmm?
What, Kristen?
You should. It's good. You should have a name.
I agree.
Agreed.
Hmm?
We all agree that Cortana should have an actual name. Everyone
You
is
want
in
an actual
agreement
name. You should have an.
on this particular issue. This is not a point of contention. Cortanus needs name.
I doth appreciate the assistance.
The
Perhaps
names
I shall
are-
eventually remember my own,
The name
but
is, yeah.
something different might be useful. He's like, yeah, flips to a new page and writes down that bit. But any other lists you wish to? No, anything else you wish to add to the list? I shall certainly consider.
Give it some thought.
Thank you.
It's really storming out there.
It does seem to be coming down. I'm glad we're dry.
I can certainly agree with.
It is kind of nice
Be nice
to
if we
be
had actual beds,
in a
but I will
shelter.
take dry.
The tower may have been better, but that
Not
doesn't matter.
with what was coming
No.
that way.
No, of course not.
So,
But this is a good alternative.
I don't think I'm going to stay there very
Perhaps
long.
we should all get some sleep then.
Were you not able to take anything, Aiden?
try to anyway.
No argument.
Oh, I got plenty. It's just didn't feel right being there.
No.
Sarah.
He frowns at that and gives a nod.
Anyway, I guess yeah. Going to bed. That's enough sentiment for one night.
Uh,
I don't know if you were saying anything, Maggie. I couldn't hear.
Yeah,
Cut out.
Yeah, you did cut out.
no.
Yeah. Katas is probably going to spend a little more time just kind of writing and
Yeah.
flipping back to the sketch and sketching a little
Yeah.
bit more and
We are
thinking
just
hard, but she'll probably end up looking.
Happiness. Good.
I'm just gonna kind of peek outside, see how bad the storm looks. Do another aberration check and then lay down.
It's always a good thing to do. One more aberration check. One last aberration check.
And then sleep.
one last before bedtime.
From what you can sense, there's nothing nearby. Probably within a half mile at least. But you do still get the sensation of maybe some of those smaller ones, because it's not like concentrated or strong, but they're spread out pretty wide and moving slowly. So they're still searching, but it seems as they may have are concentrating in a different seem to be anywhere nearby. So very likely the distance and the direction that they're that you likely will not encounter any of them for the rest of the night.
Excellent.
I'm still looking, but we give up by morning. Let me look.
Fingers crossed then.
As long as they at least wait until then.
A good night's sleep would be welcome for everyone, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Kataz will probably be like the last one to actually go to sleep, but she's gonna stay by the inside the hut, but closest to the outside of the hidey hole, and just kind of
Outside.
staring out
Okay.
at the rain for a bit, and then
Sure.
yeah, eventually
Velas is turning just a cloak burrito.
Cloak burrito. Yeah,
What?
Good choice, fellas. Good choice.
yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
coat burrito.
yeah.
Oh,
Coat burrito, cloak.
Cloak burrito.
cloak burrito, yes.
Yeah, and eventually just kind of go through. She's gonna go through her sword stances early and before she sleeps. Just otherwise keep watch for everyone as long as she can.
Uh-huh.
You
Just passing out. He's still got.
Same.
Yeah. Well, also we're in a fairly safe place in the hut. Like,
You're fine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually before cloak burritoing, probably just put up an alarm just outside the mouth of the cave, because I
Mhm.
can do that, and then gonna go burrito.
Yeah, burrito.
Okay.
not a bad choice. So we all sort of bed down for the night, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
With the sound of rain, thunder in the distance, but the quietness of the night only broken by an occasional peal of thunder. There is no extraplanar energy infiltrating your dome. There are no aberrations clawing the outsides of your hut. And there are certainly no ghosts that make their way in, musically or otherwise.
Thank fuck.
Fuck those musical ghosts,
Fuck any kind of ghost.
especially the musical ones.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got through it. It's like basically 10 p.m. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yay!
We're damn good. That was fun.
yeah. Can have well, I mean, any time that you all want, or like, hey, let's. I haven't put out one of those little. I should probably send out an updated quiz thing. But if as a group, everyone's like, we really want to explore this thing, or we want to have like a chiller RP session, feel free to let me know so I can plan accordingly. Or like, we want a shopping episode super bad.
I mean,
You
I
know.
assume right now there
Yeah,
will be
no shopping episode in the creepy
Yeah.
forest.
Yeah.
Turns into like
Definitely not the
Zombieland.
creepy
We
forest.
want the halfway in to show up.
Suddenly.
It's halfway into the Shadowfell right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that does sort of fit.
It kind of does.
Right. Yeah, well, you never know. It is. All right. Well, thanks for waiting for me to jump on. I appreciate it. It's fun.
That didn't get half as emotional as I was kind of thinking it was gonna. Probably because he just wasn't confronted as strongly about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone's so hesitant to like push each other's
Yeah,
buttons.
yeah, you guys gotta
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
No, it's
Well, that's next time, obviously.
I feel
Need to warm up.
like we just hit the point as a party where everybody's just comfortable sassing the living fuck out of each
Yeah,
other, but
basically.
not getting quite
Yeah.
too serious.
yeah.
If you want Elias to actually open up about his past, you're really gonna have to, like,
Oh, yeah.
Some people are just more open about it than others.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, out of
There's gonna have to be external influences
Yeah.
to get.
Cortana's can't do it. Not to Elias. That's the only one she can't do it to.
out of character. I had no expectation of Elias opening up.
Yeah.
It was just
No.
gonna be
No.
like, if you want
He
to
is not.
Oh, there's going to be some. There's definitely going to be some
Scoring tool, which
stressful situations coming up.
and then
Yeah.
No shit.
I inspire.
Yeah.
Drama.
Drama.
I mean,
Like
Drama
I
llama.
mostly most Elias's backstory is mostly, doesn't have a whole lot of loose threads, but if you find I give DM permission to pull at anything that looks like it could be a loose.
right.
Yes, of course.
Well, the Raven Queen is particularly pulling at threads, and
Yeah.
you're right in the smack dab of that. I mean, we're basically at the, we're in the rising action of like half the party's initial storylines. So we're going to be hitting
Yeah.
the climax of that pretty soon here.
Yay.
I'm scared.
Yay.
I'm scared because once we finish all this, that means that my back
It's your turn.
is wide
It's
open.
your turn. Yeah, once we finish with me,
yeah, right?
Hopefully, it's not my turn next.
Well, it all kind of depends on where you decide to go. I mean, you're
yeah.
going to be at a certain level with enough resources to like fuck off to Taldore if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know Cortana
I mean,
is probably going to lean towards helping out Aiden because that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
Oh boy, do we get
It
to go to
is-
the Emperor.
We're gonna make Aiden the next backstory target.
yeah, right.
We're gonna do that.
Also, feel
Yeah,
free to say like wink if we're supposed to go faster at something.
Oh gosh, no.
Not sure. No, I mean like John's way. It's like,
Yeah.
don't tell us after the fact. Give us
Like
more.
that.
Give us a little more thread.
Get what? What?
Like if there's like a piece of something that's going to turn into something more, like give us more to grab on with there and talk about.
I just like dropping the crumbs.
I know, but
Yeah.
I need something more to say.
is it this weekend or no? She said it was this weekend.
I feel
Where's the
like-
fun in just filling it out?
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
but, like,
everybody's
there
just
was-
kind of at that.
It'd make
Alright, you
work
got
for it.
there was a couple different things tonight.
There's like the problem is that like everybody's at a certain level of comfortable with each other in character, I think, and they're not quite pushing past that
Mhm.
comfort level yet.
And I like
Yeah.
to think like the one comment about why Aiden didn't really like staying at the tower was just kind of an aside to Cortana's, because she's the one who's earned that level of
Yeah.
fighting at least.
Confidence.
Oh, I missed that.
I'm trying to remember if I missed that.
I mean, he just I don't know. It was kind of quiet. I don't know if anybody,
Yeah,
I
I
might
didn't. I
not
don't think I
have.
caught that.
I think I might have caught you.
but I
Check
think
the VOD.
Cortana had asked about it, and I think
Oh, if
Aiden
he'd
basically said, didn't
taken
feel
anything.
right without
Right.
serum.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
she responded to that.
So
Mm.
Plot, 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 plot.
Right.
plot, 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 plot.
Pop, pop, pop,
Right.
That's
And she already knows that. She can't talk more on that.
weeks.
Yeah, no, there's lots of stuff coming. I'm glad that I. Speaking of timing and things that are coming, looking at upcoming calendar, 10th and 7th. Well, 10th is 2 days, and it's not. Anyways,
I think we established we're pretty much the next at
Yeah,
least
the
2
closest
weeks.
Couple
was
weeks,
like
yeah.
24th,
Yeah.
maybe.
The 24th,
Assuming everyone can do
right.
it.
31st is no good.
Yeah, I'm
for
out
me.
too. So
Okay.
I can.
And that
24th is good.
So
try,
yes, I don't.
there's a couple
Dragon
of missing
Con.
thumbs on the 24th. So as soon as anyone who's not thumbed up for the 24th knows and can confirm,
Yeah. I
and
will.
Cool.
Did I put it?
Yeah. I'm not 100%
I
sure.
don't remember if we put it in there, but
about
we're
the
fine.
24th, but as soon as I know,
cool. Yeah.
hopefully
So
soon.
that gives me 2 weeks to prep, and then I think the first weekend of September is I don't know if that's Labor Day weekend or whatnot.
I think it is.
well, that's the 31st is the Labor Day weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dragon
Oh,
Con.
okay.
The second week, I think in September, the 14th, is not probably going to be good for us.
Yeah.
That's.
Oh, that's
Callie
Callie's birthday.
Callie and Riley.
Callie and
Okay.
Riley's
Whatever they were doing.
birthday thing. So
The
I mean, we're
seventh.
we're pretty reliably hitting it every other week on average. So that
Mhm.
works out.
Cool.
I need to check in to make sure that my children have not upset the grandparents. Although I think my stepdad has already long since gone to bed, and I'm probably on the couch watching Avengers Endgame. So
Cool.
All right. Well, this was fun,
Yeah, it
guys.
was really fun.
yeah, we should totally do this. This is like the
Yeah.
easiest ever.
Yeah.
A little bit
I
of folk
think
work.
And now we
everybody
know
has
we
been
just shake
wanting
stuff
to
out of
do
people going forward.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah,
has
that's right. You
kind
just
of
gotta be
wanted
more
to do more
intentional
RP.
about
It's just
it
a matter of finding the right segue.
Like going
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to also talk to people that I don't talk to as much. Like, I hadn't talked to Weary in a while. Like, okay, I got something to talk to Weary about that she might know better.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Yeah.
need to.
I'm sorry I didn't get to be more involved, but I'm exhausted and obviously was in and out leading things.
No worries.
Yeah.
You're good.
We need to create
Like
those
what you
little.
did contribute was good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Explanation.
Yeah, it was really good.
And
Yeah.
engaging
stuff.
with Cortanis and names and stuff.
Mhm.
So having put 40 hours into Fire Emblem,
Oh,
um,
that's a game that I will get eventually.
I chose the right house to go the first time through, and
Stop
I
the
got to
stream.
like the big thing that happens,
Later,
and I'm like,
chat.
okay, well now I gotta restart.
I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be. I'm a flying ace and fly through outer space. Hello, sweetie. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. I'm proud to be in whatever sitch, like singing on Twitch or playing D&D. I'm a badass asexual polyhedral dice holder. You may call me obsessive, but I just border on being a collector and being a dragon that sits atop my treasure. That's so shiny. I'm a